Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to recap the top teams for the Sylvan squad and the team I used to get my new record today, 121.5 billion damage. And this is interesting because this team I shared in my previous video. However, this was not considered the top at that point. It was kind of tied, but now for more testing, this is the top performing team. Reinier on the Stellar Bond, which doesn't make that much intuitive sense, and his charms are going to be onto Lily and Ulmus charms are going to be onto Lenya, and then the twins here. The important thing are the charms. Arcane charms onto Ulmus, balance charms onto Reinier, the butcher charms and refine them onto Lenya, sorcery charms and refine them if you can onto Lily because they are the top damage contributors, and then finally the twins with the sorcery charms, and there's a blade summon artifact team. This team is the top performing team number 1, assuming you have Mythic plus Reinier and all the other heroes built up. Team number 2. Now, this is the formation exactly which was used by the player who hit 122 billion damage, and it got my top score as well. However, another version you can do is you can have Haven in between the Florabelle and the Faramore, like right on this tile. That is fine as well. But this team is with the Harmonic spell. Now, as for the charms, this is where it differs. So, Gale charms onto Florabelle, Arcane charms, and refine them ideally onto Faramore. However, I'm running these recovering charms onto Haven. Some people run insight charms. However, the player who hit 122 billion damage, he was running the vigorous charms. I believe they're called the yellow charms. Those are the considered most consistent for today if you have them. However, as you guys can see here, we got a top score even running the recovering charms. So it probably isn't that important. However, if you have the opportunity to go for those yellow charms, the tanky charms, they give her more tankiness. It will make maybe the runs a bit more consistent. And okay, now we're going to compare the damage report with the 122 billion damage score. So team number 1, we got overall a pretty similar score because we have the same level of upgrades. The difference is for team number 2, he has a crown Faramore, he has a plus 20 exclusive equipment Florabelle, and we have a plus 10. And then he had the Haven with the vigorous charms. So that's basically the only difference between that. But anyway, we're going to show you a run of team number 2 actually. Because from what my testing was, team number 2 was the more likely one to die. And so your RNG is going to be more reliant on keeping your entire team 2 alive. All allies need to survive for the whole fight. That is very important. And I do think those yellow charms onto Haven could be better, making her tankier. It could, people think it is increasing the consistency right now, so that is a good option if you want. But what is interesting is we're only like 400 or a million damage or so below the top score, and the top ranker has a plus 20 exclusive equipment Florabelle, and we have a plus 10. So I don't know whether the Florabelle upgrade matters that much, because when you take a look at her damage output as well, it isn't extraordinarily high, but of course every bit would make a difference. And I'm sure if we had a plus 20 Florabelle, I'm sure if we did all of our runs, we would probably hit 122 billion damage as well. Look at that. Faramore almost died. That would have been game over. Like, well, we still would have ended up with a decent score, but that is why you need this good RNG to have everyone live. Sometimes Florabelle dies, sometimes Faramore dies, and that is going to be the important factor. But okay guys, now we're going to go through the different replacements. So if you do not have Florabelle, the top performing team, as you can see here, 116 billion damage, is going to be using Brian on the team number 2. And I think there are multiple people who do not have the Florabelle built, and you can run Brian on the team number 2. Or you can run, if you don't have Brian built, you can run Leica or Parissa. Those are the ones I would recommend. But do definitely run Faramore and Haven. They are going to be the top damage contributors, as you can see here. And if you're running Brian, it is recommended to run his Ruthless charms. Those are the top performing. And then Haven, again, it is whether you run Recovering or the Insight or the Vigorous charms. Probably all will be fine. All are good options. Yeah, and ideally max out, refine the charms of Faramore. For team number 1, because the previous week this was considered the best team number 1, this is what I was running. And this is not a bad team. By the way, the difference between this and Reinier on the Stellar Bond is so minor. Like, it might even just come down to RNG in the end. But that being said, it's probably better to have Reinier on the Stellar Bond and Ulmus in front of the Lenya, because the top score of today was using that lineup. But again, the charms are going to be balanced, arcane, and yeah, the team number 1 is going to be the same. This was just from the previous week. Okay, so moving on to the other teams. We have a team, if you don't have Reinier, the best no Reinier team is going to be this team set up for team number 1. Have Damien and Lenya on the Stellar Bond, Ulmus in front of Lenya. and then Lenya on the faction tile, or sorry, Lily May on the faction tile, and blue turn on the right, pink turn on the left. Now, as for the charms for this team, the Arcane onto Ulmus is important, Butcher onto Lenya, Sorcerer onto Lily May, Sorcerer on the Twins. Damien, I have Eagle, but you could go Eagle, you could go Wizard charms. Honestly, his charms don't matter that much. He's basically just here to keep your team alive, giving them the haste buff. And team number 2 is going to be this setup, but like we said, you can have the Haywin in front of the Faramore and try that, or you can run this setup with Haywin in between Florabelle and Faramore. Both are top performing teams. Both have the potential of getting the top scores, basically. So it's whichever one is working for you. And Arcane, Gale, and like we talked about, the Haywin charms before. So that is going to be the setup. Okay, now if you don't have Lenya, this is a team option you can try. It is basically going to be using Leica as a damage dealer. If you don't have Leica even built up, you can try Pris or Brian in the same slot where she currently is, and it is something that you can keep in mind. You can try that option. But other than that, Lily May is a damage dealer. Reinier here, if you have Reinier built, you should run him. And then team number 2 is going to be the same. But basically, this is just a version if you don't have Lenya. And Lenya needs Mythic Plus or above. If your Lenya is Mythic Plus or above, you should run her. But if Lenya is not Mythic Plus yet, and you have other heroes built up, probably those other heroes are going to be higher damage contributors. But Lenya is really important. She's just proven how valuable she is for Ravaged, so everyone should be making it a priority to build her on their accounts. Okay, and now finally, we have another team comp, which is interesting, a no Ulmus team comp, but still using Reinier. And for some people, this is the top performer. There are some players that like the survival from Damien is actually better than having Ulmus for the more like offensive charm that he provides. So this is another team that you can try. And again, the charms are going to be balanced onto the Reinier, whatever you want to run onto Damien. And these are the other heroes over here. And team number 2 is going to be the same. And that is basically going to be it for the top teams that you can run, depending on whichever options you have. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. That is going to be it for this one. I'm very happy with our score, 121.58 billion. I think maybe if we hit the perfect RNG, there's a potential to get close to 122 billion damage. But I do think you would probably need to have maybe plus 20 exclusive equipment of Florabelle to hit that more reliably. Because I did multiple runs, and when I was hitting the peak RNG, it was all between like 121.5 to 121.6 billion. That was basically 3 or 4 of my runs were all around this level. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. That is going to be it for this one. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. If you're not always subscribed to our YouTube channel, please smash that subscribe button. Also, feel free to join my AFK Journey Discord server. There's a link to that in the description of this video. Thank you for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.